Hi, my name is Tanya and I'm a whole food plant-based enthusiast. So today we're making curried butternut squash soup. Super easy, yummy soup that my whole family loves, and we're going to double it today because we're a family of 6, so I like to cook lots so we have leftovers. So the recipe calls for 1 butternut squash, a couple garlics grated into your soup, an onion cut up, green apple, dill, curry, and vegetable broth. That's it. It's super easy. I've already got one of my butternut squash. Like I said, I'm doubling it. So I already got one peeled. I'm going to cut it, take the seeds out, and then I'm going to continue to cut up, take the skin off of my other butternut squash, and then we're going to get it into the pot. Okay, so we've got the butternut squash all cut up. So then I'm going to take the seeds out of the bottom part of the butternut squash. So we're just going to scrape those out. I usually use a spoon just to make sure I get all that out well, and then I put it into the compost. Continue to dice up everything. Have all the butternut squash diced up and ready to go in. So now I'm just going to, I've already washed, so now I'm just going to cut up my apple and take the seeds out. I don't take the skin off. It adds fiber. It's getting blended up, and the more whole apple we can have, the better. So I'm going to cut those up, and then we'll get it all in the pot. I'll show you what we have, and we'll go from there. Okay, so here we have our apples, onions, butternut squash, zucchini. And then over here we have our broth. There's the homemade one, but I don't have enough to just use homemade right now. So I'm going to use one I got off the store. We have our curry and our dill. Okay, so like I said, we don't use any oils. So I'm going to get a little bit of water in the pan to get it sauteing. The pan's already a little warm. So my husband and I and our kids have been starting to eat whole food plant-based since the beginning of January. So I have a long way to go still in weight and what I want to lose, but the really exciting thing is that I've already lost 20 pounds just changing how I'm eating tons of fruits and vegetables, eating whole food plant-based, and I feel amazing. I have so much more energy. My husband as well, he feels amazing, and he finds that his digestive situation is a lot better, and it makes you feel good to eat healthy. So I would encourage anyone who's not sure if this is for them, just give it a try. Try a few meals. Try to supplement some healthy snacks. We make some really good stuff, which I'll tape and show you. Some carrot muffins that my kids love. Later today, I'm going to make a homemade marinara sauce that you can put on, use as a base for your spaghetti. Or you can put it on pasta, you can put it on rice, you can put it on quinoa, you can really put it on anything you want. I find that it's good to have a bunch of stuff prepared, and if I can't even freeze it, put it in the freezer and I can pull it out when I need it. So I'm going to continue to saute these onions up. Oh, actually, we're going to back up a little bit. I forgot a step. See, I'm so busy talking to the camera that I forgot a step. So, okay, sorry about that. Let's start again. Instead of putting the onions in first, what I want to do is I want to wake up the curry because we're going to be using like a yellow curry. And I'm going to put probably, because I'm doubling it up, I'm probably going to put about 2 tablespoons. Oh, you know what? Maybe even 3 because I am doubling it up. If you're just making a single batch, then I would probably suggest you use 1, maybe 2 if you like it a little spicier. And I'm just gonna wake those spices up a little bit. Again, I have a little bit of water in the pan so it doesn't burn. And once you can really start to smell the curry, which only takes probably a few seconds to a minute, then I add the onions back in. I shouldn't say back in, that's when I would normally add the onions. And we're just going to saute those up. We're going to turn it down a little bit to about medium-high. And just kind of let those become a little bit more translucent. If you get a little bit of color on it, that's okay. Color is flavor. But I don't want to burn them, and I don't want to overcook them. Because what we're going to do next is I'm going to grate in some garlic. I use the micro blade from my grater. So you can buy them on their own as well. I just find it easier than chopping up garlic. This way I can grate it right in, and it's small enough, even though I'm going to blend it, but I do this anytime I use garlic in a recipe. Then we're going to throw the butternut squash and the apples in, cover it with broth, let it simmer or cook at medium-low for 20 minutes to 30 minutes, and then we're going to blend it up, and we'll have our soup. So as I mentioned, it's cooked down, the onions have cooked down a little bit, so I'm just going to take my microblade and grate in my garlic. It's actually a really good tip that I got from Rachel Ray. Whoops. So you do have to watch your fingers. You don't want to get them. You don't want to cut them. Now, I used to love cooking a lot. I still do. But before we became whole food plant-based eaters, I used to love cooking a ton. Like, I would love to look for new recipes and try new things, and it was always really exciting. And I didn't always have to use a recipe because I knew how certain foods paired together. So I found that there was a huge learning curve, and we're still learning when we switched to whole food plant-based, because I had only ever used vegetables as a side. We would steam broccoli or steam vegetables, we would have salads, but I never used them to make an amazing, delicious meal. And with beans, like we very, very rarely use beans unless I was making something like a chili. So it was a huge learning curve for me. And like I said, we've only been doing this for probably about 2 and a bit months. So in here we have our curry, a little bit of water. We have our garlic. And it's sauteing nicely. See? Looks great. The curry color has really gotten through the onions. I'm going to take my huge thing of butternut squash and dump it in. Grab the rest. Definitely need a bigger pot. Next time, I used to have a huge pot, but it got misplaced, so something else I have to buy. Put my apples in. Now, I usually just try to cook that a little bit, try to turn it through the pan a bit, get some curry all over the butternut squash, a little bit of curry on the apples, and after a few minutes, we'll cover it with broth. And this pan's not big enough because there's such big butternut squash that I use that I might not be able to turn it too much. And that's okay, because really the flavors are going to cook together. And when I get the liquid in there, it'll really start to do its thing. Probably this is 2 cups of homemade broth, homemade vegetable broth. And then we have 1 900 milliliter. Yes, we're from Canada, so 900 milliliters. And you know, that's one of the reasons, being in Canada is one of the reasons that I wanted to start videotaping and posting what we're doing. I'm not quite where I am or where I want to be with weight, and I'm definitely not a chef. I'm just an enthusiast. So I wanted to share some different recipes because I hear a lot of the U.S. our new U.S. neighbors have things like tortillas, pizza crust, all this amazing stuff. This is my son, my youngest son. All of this amazing stuff that they can buy, but in Canada, none of that's available, or at least oil-free and dairy-free. So I was really encouraged to find some great recipes that we could share with other people. Okay, I'm gonna get this stirred up and alright, so I'm just cleaning up some of the mess here, and then we're gonna keep the broth going, and when everything's a little bit soft, well, I'll show you as I put the rest of the broth in. Okay, so we're gonna cover it. Oh, stir in the dill a little. Bring it to a boil and then bring back the heat a little bit. My youngest little chef here to help.
Why?
Why? Because we eat the soup blended. It's so yummy. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes and everything's fork tender. So I'm going to turn it off. And we're going to, oh, it's a little awkward to reach that. Okay, so we have the lid off. And just to show you, it is fork tender. I can put my fork into it easily. And everything's cooked and good to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it in batches, blend it up, and then I'm going to, once it's all blended, I'm going to put it back into the pan to let it cool, and then it's ready to eat. As you can notice, I usually only fill it about halfway because when you have hot ingredients, they do tend to expand in the blender. Takes a little bit longer, but it's a little bit safer that way. Whoops, helps if you plug it in, doesn't it? Okay, so let's plug it in. It's a little loud, so bear with me. And then pour it into another pot or bowl and just keep going. So we're going to get all this. Like I said, this is a double batch that I made. So it was 2 huge, really, really big butternut squash that I used. But we are a family of 6, and this is really yummy food. This is a really good soup that my whole family loves. Sorry, it's going to get loud again for a second. We don't really have to blend it for long. Everything is pretty tender. So we're just going to fly through this. This is a really great soup that you can do pretty much any time of year. I often will do it for Thanksgiving, Christmas, but it's a nice soup just to have, to take to work, or on a rainy day in the fall or the spring. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going here. You don't need to see me do all the blending, but we'll keep going with the blending. When it's all done, we'll give it a taste and see what it looks like. Okay, so that's the last blend, and I poured all the stuff that I had, all the previous ones that I did, back into the pan. Just stir it up. This would be a good, this is where you just confirm that the seasoning is just how you want it. So we can put a little in a bowl and try it. One of the favorite soups in my house, one of my all-time favorite soups. And there you have it. Curry, dill, butternut squash soup. Super yummy, extremely easy, and it's going to be a little warm, so I'm stalling a little here to let it cool down, but it's so good. Give the soup a try. Comment, tell me what you think about it. Look at that. It's amazing. It's so yummy. You can have this with a salad, with some whole food plant-based breads. Super yummy. I'm going to go finish my bowl of soup. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.